Welcome back to the third episode of interviews with Atanu Bhadra. Let me start with giving you a slight insight of a great photographer who says photography can only represent the present. Once photographed, the subject becomes part of the past. But on the other hand, the best images are the ones that retain their strength and impact over the years, regardless of the number of times they are viewed. With this, let me invite Atanu again, and we are going to talk to him about the details of the lenses, and he's going to show us today how each and every lens and the gears are being used while being photographed. So I welcome Atanu again. Please come in, Atanu. Great. So we have Atanu with us now, and we have already had 2 episodes. In the first episodes, we saw how Atanu has developed this hobby. He has moved from for about 2.5 decades. He has been in photography, and I keep on repeating that he is a professional photographer and not an amateur one. So, and further to that, he spoke about how he chose the landscapes, the nature, the various places that he goes to, and he spoke about Kumbargaon, where he has been there. I will surely go with him once to this place to do a photography along with him. Yes, I'm keen on. In the second episode, we went into the details of the aperture, the ISO visualization, and the what was that?
Shutter speed.
The shutter speed. Having understood all these aspects, now with Atanu here, and when he came in, I saw a lot of lenses and gears and a lot of stuff along with him. So we are going to talk to him, and he's going to give us an insight about how these lenses and gears are being used. So over to you, Atanu. It's all yours. Please explain to the people how you use it and what you do. Up to you.
Thank you, Abhijeet. So I have a very small set of gears, not a lot. So I will explain one by one. The camera body I will come at the last. Okay, so I use Canon. So don't get, I don't think that Canon is the best brand or not the rest of the brands. So as far as the optometry is concerned, all are equally good. I prefer Canon because I started with Canon after Zenith, and somehow I have become comfortable to its GUI. Okay, so that's where I'm getting used to Canon. So I will first show you a zoom lens. You can see it now. So this is the 1855 millimeter lens. So we have all heard of different types of zooming, right? 2x, 3x, 4x, 8x, 20x. Some even tell or claim 40x. But there are always 2 components of zooming. One is the optical zoom and one is the digital zoom. So let's restrict ourselves to the optical zooming only, because that's where you actually get the zoom effect. The rest are basically the software effect, right? So if you come to an 18 to 55 millimeter lens, so this is a very basic lens. It comes along with a package of any Canon camera you buy mostly. So first is, what is the zooming effect of this lens? So it's very simple mathematics. So 55 by 18 means it is 3 point something. So I am just taking the maximum focal length to the minimum focal length. I'm just dividing by that, and I am getting its maximum zooming effect. So now you can call that some of the cameras, hybrid cameras come with 10x, 20x zoom. So why I have to buy a camera which gives me only 3x zoom? Good question. The answer is that the kind of cropping you can do with a DSLR, even with a 4x or 5x zoom, will actually beat you 20x any other camera.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where the benefit of DSLR comes in. Okay. So if you see this, so up to 18, this is called wide angle. 18 to 24 is basically wide angle. So if I have to explain this, so all you understand the parabolic vision of any person, right? So you can actually feel from here, you can see from here, right? So if someone comes from behind, you can feel, but you cannot see. You can see from here. So any normal human vision is actually the parabolic vision and the wide angle vision. So any lens is nothing but a replica of a human eye. Okay. So if you try to see like this, then it becomes a wide angle. If you want to see this, then it's of course not wide angle. Now, what is the difference between a wide angle and a telephoto lens? I will come to the telephoto lens later on. So wide angle means artificially through the lens you are pushing the nearer object to the far. That is why you can cover more. In case of telephoto, it is just the reverse. You are bringing a distant object near to you. That's the difference between human eye. Sorry, that's the difference between a normal lens, zoom lens, and a telephoto lens. Okay. Now, if I come back to this lens once again, so it is a 55 millimeter focal length, which is a maximum. So it can serve all your photography inside a room, or if you're just roaming around in a city and you just want to capture something, street photography or kind of thing. This lens is a fantastic lens. It will serve your purpose, right? So any lens nowadays comes with an autofocus or manual focus option. You will find a button here, AF or MF. This might be have a different name if you buy a Nikon or a different brand, but fundamental remains same. Then comes a stabilizer, that is the shake. Right? This is a light lens. Obviously, your hand will not shake if you try to do a photography with this. But as you much going into the complexer lens, as it is a combination of lenses and prisms, the lens becomes heavy. Right? So the telephoto lens, which I will show you at the last, it weighs approximately 1.8 kg. So you need to practice it to hold it stable, and after some time, your hand will start paining and will not be able to do it unless you have a tripod.
So photography is not just easy; it is painful also.
See, the thing here is to what extent you actually want to go up to. Right? It all depends on that, right? So how much pain you are going to take depends on that. Right? So this is a simple lens. So I was talking about the stabilizer. Sorry. So if you keep it on, that means slight shake or like that, the lens can cover it up. But obviously, if you are trembling like this, the lens will not be able to cover up. Right? So to some extent, minimize a minimum shaking, it can cover.
Okay. So just a question here. So this is basically used for a general photography. On streets, in the houses, or typically
any standard photography,
you can use this 18 by 55 lens.
Correct.
Right. Okay. All right. Great. So this is an image stabilizer. Yeah. Fantastic. Great. Thank you so much, Atanu. Yes. Let's move on to the next.
So moving to the next one. So this is a small telephoto lens. So it aims at 55 millimeters. The earlier one what I showed. This one starts from 55 millimeters. And goes up to 250. So the focal length you can vary it between 55 millimeter to 250 millimeter. That means approximately its zooming effect is 5x. Right? So 250 by 50 would have been exact 5. It is nearly 5x zoom.
5x of this one?
No, 5x at this capacity.
Okay.
Do not compare with this because it is 1855. Right?
It's a smaller one.
Smaller one. This starts from focal length of 55. And goes up to 250, right? So approximately 5x zooming capacity, right? It also comes with that autofocus or manual focus and the stabilizer. Now earlier I didn't talk about the autofocus and manual focus. So any normal human being will think, and I also used to think in that way only, that if I have an autofocus, why the hell in this world I will take the pain to do it a manual focus? Okay. Now, whatever my experience goes, if you are trying to cover a number of people, right, if you can keep the right aperture, the depth of field, and if you cover the center person, you can cover the whole image. Okay. Now, when it comes to an wildlife photography and you are seeing a bird sitting behind a bush, right, and there are some leaves and other small branches which is coming in your obstruction. But you can see the bird. Okay. You can focus it also.
Yes.
And you try to do it a focus with an autofocus option. Irony of the fate is, this equipment doesn't understand I'm focusing the bar or I'm focusing the branch.
Oh,
Okay, or I'm focusing the bush.
okay.
So it tries to focus everything and not able to do it. And it keeps blurring and good image, blurring and good image because it cannot fix it.
Okay.
At that point of time, you have to shift it to manual focus. There is no choice of it.
There is no choice.
Right? Then you can focus the bar and then you can manually move or rotate the focus ring and can exactly focus what object you are trying to do. Right? So, normal situation, automation works. In a difficult scenario, it doesn't work. Right?
You have to go to a manual
operation. So today also, even if you are trying to touch down or take off a A380, you cannot put it on autopilot.
Autopilot, yes.
Once you attain your
specific
coordinates,
speed,
then you can put it on autopilot mode. Otherwise, you cannot. Right? Same fundamental remains here also. So I already explained the other fundamentals of the lens when I was talking to 1855. Coming to the biggest possession of mine till now.
So just before we get into that, this is specifically used for minute photography in jungles or in places
not
where
too minute. You can cover it generic wildlife,
okay,
but not too fine.
Not too fine.
Not
okay.
too fine.
So this
you can manage it. I mean, to a great extent, you can do it. You have to go beyond these also after a certain.
So here you can use both manual as well as auto. So it depends on how
most of the, I mean, all lenses are coming with that option only.
Okay.
So just forgot to tell you one thing. So all these lenses have an ultrasonic motor inbuilt here.
Okay.
All the lenses. Okay. What happens here is if I now take out the back cover, you'll be able to find some copper connections. Right. So when you try to fix it on a camera, the way it is fixed, it also connects to those pins. Right. So that way, this motor gets activated. So when you are trying to do it autofocus, if you keep it, motor rotates and it pushes beyond or actually pulls behind the barrel in which the lenses are all there. Right? So that's why you are trying to do the focus. As I talked in our earlier edition of a prime lens, right? So the difference between the prime and the zoom is that prime comes with a fixed focal length. If it is 50, if it is 80, if it is 100, if it is 400, you cannot change that. Advantage is the lens is also lighter because the more focal lengths you are trying to create, you are actually inserting many more lenses inside.
Okay.
To create those focal lengths, right? So the lens become heavy. Whereas prime lens is not heavy, much lighter, easier to focus, very fast focusing. But the only problem is that you have to stick to that focal length only. Maybe you have to adjust yourself, but not the lens. Okay. But if you are really doing some wildlife photography, prime lens is of great importance and of great use. I don't have it yet, so if I use it, I'll have to rent it because those lenses are coming very costly.
Okay, all right, okay, great. Now we move on to a very minute area of.
So coming to this is my till now my costliest possession as far as this photographic equipment is concerned. So this is of course not a Canon lens. This is called Tamron, which is compatible to Canon. This is a G2, generation 2.
Generation 2.
So this is a telephoto lens.
Okay, this is a telephoto lens.
This is a telephoto
lens. Okay.
This is a pure telephoto lens. So the range is 150 millimeter to 600 millimeter.
150 to
600.
600.
So basically, it is your 4x zoom only.
Okay. So this was a 5x, but still, because of the longer focal length and the range between 150 to 650, it's a telephoto range.
Correct. So once you open it up, it goes up like that, and it's 1.8 kg. It's difficult to hold. Okay. We have certain techniques, so not everywhere you can use tripod.
Correct.
So basically, take the support of your shoulder as much as you can.
Just like a gun. Okay.
Breathing, hold your breath.
Okay.
Don't breathe and try to capture a photo. Hold your
Wow.
breath, so that in that case your body also becomes stable.
Wow.
And try to hold it for 4-5 seconds. I can hold it for 28 seconds.
Okay.
So that's a practice.
My God. Okay. So there is a
I
lot
know,
of yoga also involved in while you do
no,
photography.
any normal human being will be able to hold it for 10 or 15
True,
seconds.
true,
That's
true,
that's the big
true.
thing. So once you do, and then you release your breath. Right?
Okay.
But what happens here is, after half an hour, your left hand will start paining you.
Right.
Then you will not be able to hold it. You have
For
to
a
take
longer
some
time.
rest. Right? So that's the way. So this also has the zooming and the focus autofocus, same thing. So this is the focus ring. If you go to do a manual focus, and this is basically the zooming ring. Okay. So this has a couple of additional functions, like to what extent you want to get the zooming, up to 10 meters or beyond 10 meters. Okay. So that is an additional facility Tamron gives. Okay, don't think that I am actually giving some promotion for Tamron. So I'm just explaining the lens I have.
Tamron will anyways not pay you for this.
And obviously, I have not reached that stage that Tamron will pay me. So it also has the autofocus and manual focus. What I was talking, the shake in case of Canon lens, they call it VC. Okay, there's a different terminology. Right, so if you can keep off and on like that, and then it has another VC mode for doing the videography. If you are trying to do a videography, because when you are doing videography, if you're not on a tripod or not on a trolley kind of thing, obviously with 1.8 kg you're going to shake, right? So they have a compensation for that also. Wonderful. Okay. So this is a fantastic lens as far as I have used it for doing wildlife photography. I read a lot of reviews, and I told in my first episode my mentor Shaheb, you remember?
Yes.
So both of us went to buy the lens on the same day.
Okay.
So we bought the same lens, same variety on the same day.
Wow.
So I done a lot of photography with this lens. Beautiful. It's a superb lens. It's extremely fast, and image quality is unparalleled. Wow. So coming to the body. So remember, all Canon cameras come with a 58mm mount. So I mean the lens, the dia, whatever the lens, it will come with a 58mm mount. Mm-hmm. I'm not opening the cover just to avoid any dust going into. Okay. Because I'm very finicky about that.
I understand.
So basically, you put your lens here, and the rest of the adjustments are here on the back. Okay. So all your ISO adjustments, all your shutter speed adjustments, everything is here, and you have a master key. Okay. This is a wheel which rotates. So you select according to your menu and according to the function. So either you can see it here on the screen, or you can see it inside the viewfinder, whatever the choice you have. So I normally click always by the viewfinder, not by this screen, because with a bigger lens, it gives me much advantage to hold the lens. I mean, to see through the viewfinder.
And you get a wider range also.
Wider. And I mean, holding it like this with the 1.8 kg and holding like this is actually much easier.
Yes.
So that's why I'm habituated to go it through the viewfinder only. So I can see from there and I can adjust those things. Wow. So this body is not too fancy. It is EOS 600D. Mm-hmm. It goes up to 1/4000 shutter speed and ISO up to 3200. The f-stops are all common for all the SLRs. Sometime I think I should upgrade it, but I am still able to manage with this. So I'll share some of the photos of mine.
Sure, our audience would love to see some of your photographs, which you would have clicked with all these gears. I think this is really very interesting. I mean, I have in the last 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever you've been talking, I was actually visualizing how a photograph is being clicked and how this camera actually works while you click photographs. So Atanu, you have given a great insight of using all these gears, right? So thank you so much for this. Yeah, Atanu, I think this was a fantastic explanation that you've given me, and for the audience also. Going in so much of details, I doubt how many of people would be really getting into so much of details the way you've done. and each and every explanation that you gave technically and to the details of it was quite insightful. Was really insightful, Atanu. I am. I don't have words to explain the way you have explained things. I would just like to conclude this in whichever way you want to give a message to the audience.
So Abhishek, so just to summarize in a very decent way,
Please.
right? So I never thought that I'll be coming and doing a videography of whatever I have learned or whatever effort I have put into till now, right? So thank you for giving me this opportunity. So I never took it as a profession. It was just for my own time pass in a creative way. That's the whole thing I actually started. When I started doing the photography of nature and wildlife, then it became a passion inside me. To you, it's very rewarding when you see there's, okay, fine, I could capture the tiger, I could capture the flying bird. Okay. Wow. So that gives you an internal satisfaction. So that's the only thing I actually ran for it, nothing else. So, and the equipment what I use, I thought, or I still think that this is the best thing which I can manage within my means, right? And I can do whatever I want to do with this. So whoever is seeing this video, just don't think that I am advising someone to take photography.
Okay.
Okay, that is not the objective. It's just explanation what I have done and why I have done.
Right.
If only one message to anyone, if anyone wants to take the photography or anyone wants to get inspired by seeing that, thank you for doing that. But I will only say one thing: there is no written rule anywhere. Right? If you want to follow your passion, you have to find your own way. Right? There is no book for this that if you do this steps A, B, C, D, E, F, then you will be reaching there. No. Right? It's how much you are interested in this, how much you are honest with this, and that will determine how much you can go with your passion. That's the only thing I can say.
Wow. Atanu, I love the sentence that you said. If you have a passion, you follow your own rule. And I think that is a great message that you're giving to the people. People who really want to take up photography as their hobby, okay, would be able to relate with this entire discussions and the 3 episodes that we have gone into. Thank you so much, Atanu, for the time that you've spent with me and given an insightful details about how photography can be done, and that too without spending too much. Yeah, you can still make it a passion, and you can still keep it as a hobby, and show your talents out of this entire hobby that you're doing. So while you were saying, so I was just trying to think, and I happened to write something. Yeah, and so let me say this to all of you after listening to him. Photography is an art of observation. It's about finding something interesting in an ordinary place. I myself have found it has a little to do with things you see and everything to do with the way you see them.
Fantastic thing you've written in such a short time.
And I believe this is something which is true, and we all must thank Atanu for this wonderful time that he has given us. And if you have any doubts, any questions with related to gears, with related to camera, with related to photography, the numbers are down below on the channel. Do subscribe and do call on the numbers. We'll be ready to help you at any point in time. Thank you so much, and we will come up with more such interviews in the times to come. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Just adding a couple of photos clicked by me. What you're seeing on the screen coming now is a lesser whistling duck. I clicked it at Purvasthali. The next one is osprey. May not be at the right background, but a very clear image. This was at Kumbhargaon. The next one is pheasant-tailed zacana.
So this was clicked at Purvasthali. An evening conference of flamingos. So this is at Kumbhargaon. A Caspian tern among the gulls. This one is a marsh harrier with its prey. This was clicked at Kumbhargaon. The next one that you are seeing on the screen is an amazing bird. It's a black-winged stilt. And now here you can see a happy family of common kingfishers. A chameleon in the midnight. This was shot at Kumbhargaon. A common kingfisher with its prey, a prized prey of course. And the last one is the take-up of flamingos. Thank you.